Hi, so this video should work for both the Honda CR-V and the Honda Element. So I'm going to replace these Phillips headlights on the passenger side first. So you'll notice here this is the passenger side, and then on the other side is the driver's side, and on that side there will be a air exhaust that's in the way. So in the latter part of the video I'll show you how to remove the air exhaust. So I'm going to get started here on the passenger side. So what you see in the middle there is the electrical plug. So it is a 3-prong plug. I am just going to grasp the middle of it and pull it straight out. So you want to do this on a dry day, because what often happens is the rubber gasket there that I'm going to remove next will be a little bit tight or stuck if you're doing this on a moist day, and trust me, I learned this the hard way. So you just grasp the tab at the bottom here and just pull this rubber gasket all the way around. So you want to go around with your fingers around the circle and just pull it out a little bit. Now you'll notice that the middle is going to get stuck, and that's where the bulb is. So right in the middle is this gasket here, and you're going to have to really use a little bit more strength to pull it out, and you'll see this is the gasket that prevents water from going in. So this gasket does have a top and bottom. So the bottom is where the tab is, and you'll notice actually on the top there's an inscription that tells you that it's the top. And you'll notice the two little holes in the bottom that allows maybe droplets of water to be led away from the light bulb itself. So next you could actually take out the bulb. So this isn't great visibility on this video, but what is on the far right of this video, there is a clasp or hitch, and you just push in slightly and then lift up slightly, and it'll become a little bit more apparent when the clasp is loose and you could see. So you'll see my finger here. I'm going to push in, lift up a little bit, and you'll see that there is that bottom bit there that actually gets caught, and that's how it closes and also pins the light bulb together into the socket there. So that's the sort of the mechanism that is being used to hold that bulb in place. Now the bulb just came loose, and you'll notice once again it's a 3-prong electrical plug exposed, and you'll see that when I take out the bulb here, so when I take out the bulb here, you'll see that electrical plug. There's 2 plugs to the side and one horizontal at the top. So you'll see those notches also around the circle of the light bulb. So there's 1 notch at the top and 2 notches at the bottom, as you can see. So you can't go wrong with the placement of this bulb. So this is a new bulb that I'm going to put in, and make sure not to touch the bulb with your hands and get any grease on it, because that will affect the life of the bulb. So you'll notice here that once again I am putting the bulb in this type of configuration with 1 notch at the top and the 2 notches at the bottom, and that's how it gets aligned into that light socket and that holding fixture. So I am going to try to navigate down these hoses without having the bulb touch any of the grease around the car, and I am going to put it straight in to the middle and rest those notches around that circular bulb exterior right into those notches right on the socket. So it looks like that's it, and now I am simply going to close that hitch or clasp, and keep in mind you have to push it slightly in and lower it a little bit so that it gets caught in that housing. And as you can see, I am struggling a little bit, and I've had to try a couple of times. Now once you get it in, you could tell, and you could also wiggle the bulb itself around to make sure it's tight. You notice I just wiggled the door a little bit just to make sure it's tight, and I will sort of wiggle also the 3 prongs on the electrical plug of the light bulb itself to make sure it's also sort of tightly in there. Now it's time to place the rubber gasket back. So I'm going to just grab the rubber gasket here And with the rubber gasket, again, make sure to align it correctly. There's only one way, with the tab at the bottom, and it even has a label up there that says it's the top, so you can't really go wrong there. And now it's just a matter of putting it in. So I'm just going to reach in there, and what you want to do in this case is to make sure that the middle of that gasket is wrapped around the plugs. So again, this is a little bit harder for me because I actually have the camera in one hand and I'm trying to do it with one hand, and also keep the lighting of the camera lit so that the video is actually visible. As you can see here, all I'm doing is going around and also checking the middle just to make sure the middle of the gasket is seated well. So once it's seated well, all you have to do is put the electrical plug back. So I'm just double checking here. And now, once again, the way the prong is one horizontal at the top, and then the two plugs at the bottom. And just push it in, and you're all set for this side. So now you want to test it. You don't want to forget to test it. So this particular bulb, and the way the car is configured, is the headlamps is both the headlamp and also the high beams. So you see that's the high beams, and this here is the normal light. So I'm just turning off everything and double checking, and it looks like it works great. And now I'm going to do the driver's side with the exhaust that's blocking. So you notice on the driver's side, the access to the headlight is blocked by this air exhaust. So I'm going to have to remove that portion of it. And what I'm going to do is simply grasp both ends of it. So I'm going to hold one of the ends still while wiggling the other end. So you notice once you wiggle it long enough, and you're going to use a little bit of force, but once you wiggle it long enough, it's just going to come loose like that. So doing the driver's side is merely rinse and repeat. However, I do want to show you how to replace the exhaust, because that might not be straightforward, or you might find it hard to snap in. So I'm going to fast forward through the rest of this and skip all the way to the end and show you the replacement of the exhaust, of the air exhaust. So once again, this is just rinse and repeat of the passenger side. So it's exactly the same. And while putting on the exhaust, so the next thing I'm going to show you is how to replace the exhaust here. When you replace the air exhaust, you want to angle the bottom. So you notice I'm angling the bottom, and then I'm going to push the top. So that's the easiest and best way to replace the air exhaust here. And again, it's going to be using a little force, but if you use that method, it's actually fairly easy. So wiggle it around just to make sure it's tight. So next thing you want to do again is to do the testing on this side. So that really completes the installation of the light bulb, and I hope you subscribe, and thank you for watching.